Hello and welcome back to chapter 5, lecture number 10. We are going to create a hatch, or we're going to update the hatch we already created in chapter 4 and take a look how that works out. So we put one over there in this hole, two in the bottom, and focusing on the windows. So go to the second layer where we have all the files. And there are some hatches. So you can see there are 4 planks in a row, and this one has it as well. So let's update this hatch. Right now it has a really weird material. So what I want to do is hatch underscore planks, hatch planks. All right, we go to the materials, node, and focusing on this node, and that's planks 5. And what I want to use is plank 3. That's this one. It has some really nice planks. It's not a tileable texture. It's very important to keep in mind, but it has some looks I really prefer. So now they are there, and we need to tweak the material because I think it looks totally wicked. Loading, loading, loading. Blender needs to do some loading, and there it is. Yeah, total not good. Total not good. Good. Let's switch to the UV image editor, and maybe, well, I'm totally sure we can fix this. One of the problems is that it is vertically and they need to be horizontal. So we start with turning them and then tweaking them one by one individually. So that already does a lot of good things. So we start selecting them and turn off snapping tool because that will do bad work. Okay, size the UVs because that is a bit distracting. SY and put them in line. SX because I want to see the nails. Really cool, and these need to be right there. And another one, and we grab the top plank over there. Same for these. It's the front and the rear, so don't panic if it's not exactly because they are sharing the same, because you won't really see it as duplication as long you pick another texture for the separated planks. So this will work. I mean, I hope it will work. And scale these and drag them over there. And the final plank, Control L. Let's go for this one. And a lot of selections and dragging, that's texture work. Good. And I prefer photo textures a lot instead of procedural textures because you get a lot of realism material. Okay, this plank is a little bit, well, not just a little bit, very different, but you know, let's keep it there. So we have these wooden bars, what keeps everything together. And then we use this one because now I prefer the specific look. Control L. And we use the same. Let's put this one more downwards. Okay. So that's a nice looking hatch. Let's put this right there and go to the side view. Yeah, nothing wrong with it. So we have these small ones and I want a big one. So copy 2 of the planks, Control L, Shift D, P, selection, spacebar, origin to geometry, and rotate it. So now we have a separated object, and in edit mode scale this Control L and scale it a bit. Yes. And try to make them look a little bit wider. Control L, drag, use this blank and disable snapping tool. S, Y. Yes. Oops. And select these. S, Y. Ooh. You don't want them to float in the empty space right there. You just don't want that. Okay. So what do we have? 2 big planks, and we need to also copy this bar. And P, selection, spacebar, set origin, origin to geometry. Yeah. And rotate it with the snapping tool. Turn it off. Make it a little bit smaller. Control point so it's in the middle. And size this a bit. Wood is very flexible, as you can see. Yep. And in edit mode, you select everything, Shift D, top view, and you drag this right there, and just move it smooth so it doesn't look the same. Material. All right, so 2 hatches, and we copy these. Oh, first you merge them, B, Control J. That one's already merged, and to the first layer. And we rotate them so they are in the front position. Turn this off, and we're going to put them where we want them. So the big hatch needs to be scaled and a bit more above. Control Z, everything. So this is a huge hatch. We cannot make this taller, so I hope this will work out. And that one as well. And we need to make this smaller. Yeah, so a lot smaller. Yes, okay. SX, oh pain. We do not have a lot of choice doing this. Okay, the only choice we have is lowering this bar a bit so we can avoid a lot of stretching and put them a bit out of the window so it's not inside. And let's rotate it. And I'm rotating this to fits it better on the hatch, on the door frame. So we have one, make it a bit smaller, and Shift D. Of course, we now have a duplication, and we need to use different planks. And I understand this looks like a lot of work, but just try it. The worst thing is that what can happen is that you put a lot of time in your work, and then you see duplications, and people say, "Oh, you're only duplicating." No, I spend a lot of work on everything I created. You just say it's a duplication, and it's not. Oh yeah, it is, but at least I spent some extra time on it. Control L. Okay, let's take a look on this creation we just made. Sometimes Blender crashes when I do this, and that feels probably. The hatch needs to be right there, and the color is really different. Maybe I'm going to mix this with the design, but for now it works. Only this blank is not the right thing. S, Y, and SX. and rotate a little bit. Good. So going back to the second layer, and we do not have windows yet, so File, Append, Windows, no window. We do not have a window. Well, that's pretty weird. Okay, so what we will do in the next lecture, we will append the window and put this into the door, into the frame, and find out if that works out. Good, see you there, bye bye.